Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Farah, and in today's video I thought I would do a really quick check-in for the Read What You Own challenge. So I've been doing the Read What You Own challenge since November, so it's been about 3 months that I have made a commitment to try to read all of these lovely books here on my bookshelves before going out to buy anything new, or reeling in the library holds a little bit, because I would say my two biggest challenges when it comes to focusing on my own books is mood reading, and I can so easily get audiobooks from the library that I tend to push these to the side, and secondhand book shopping. So I just want to check in and let you guys know how it's been after 90 days of doing this. So to start out, I was pretty easy on myself when it came to this challenge, and I committed to trying to read 3 books per month from my shelves. I probably average about 4 to 7 books that I can get through during a month. So I figured if I can try to do about half of my own books, that will give me some wiggle room to mood read. Because a lot of times when I look around, I'm like, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. But when I watch Booktube and see you guys talking about books, I'm like, yeah, I'm in the mood for that. Is it on Libby? Yes, click, go. So that did give me wiggle room to mood read. And I also said that if I happen to find any used books that have to do with a particular collection that I'm collecting, which would be Agatha Christie classics and some vintage nature type of books or nonfiction, then I'll let myself get those, because I don't think that, it's just my rule. So checking in, I have read 10 books of my own. So that has worked out. The 3 books per month has worked out. I've gotten 1 extra. And of those 10 books, I would say 7 of them were really good. 7 of them, I was like happy that I finally got to it. 3 of them were like, I could take it or leave it. And 3 of them have gone on to new homes. 2 out of these 10 books were 5-star reads. So that's a huge plus. So I was really proud that I was able to commit to that, and I'm going to keep going. And this is something that I think is very sustainable, that I can keep on going through the whole rest of the year. So as far as being 100% truthful, have I bought any new books? Have I found any new books? And the answer is yes, I have. So just realistically, I think when you get to a point within this challenge, a lot of people can just feel like they don't want to do it anymore. Book buying is a huge enjoyment for a lot of people. For most of us, it's really a way that we like to spend our extra spending money. I know I don't spend a lot of money on other things. If you see the background in my house, you know that I'm not like hugely into interior decorating or clothing or anything like that. But I do enjoy book buying. Luckily though, I don't tend to buy new books very often, so it's mostly thrift store stuff. So yes, I'm going to show you real quickly books I have picked up along the way, just to keep it completely transparent and honest. And I think that everything that I've gotten, I kind of could justify. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. So for Christmas, I ended up buying for myself a classic, this is a line that I've been trying to collect for a while now. This is the Penguin Drops Caps editions of classic books. And this one is Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. And, it was just the next one in line. I'm kind of going in alphabetical order. This is book F. They're gorgeous. They look beautiful on a bookshelf, and they have these colored edges. And Madame Bovary is a book that I plan to read at some point. So I grabbed a copy of this, and it was fun to get it. It was fun to get a new book, So that's that one. I did go to the thrift store a few times, and I have to, because I'm continually cleaning out our house and donating clothes and toys and all this other stuff. I really try hard not to look at the book section, but I did in 2 separate instances, and I walked away with books. So I know now that I cannot go to the book section in the thrift store. It's way too tempting. There were a lot that I left behind, but a few that I grabbed were part of collections that I like. So this one is a Puffin Classics called King Arthur by Roger Lancelot Green. King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. So I know that this is a classic that I would like to read someday, and it was in absolutely perfect condition. I liked the edition, so I grabbed it, Should I have? Yeah, I don't know. Why not, right? Another book that I purchased at full price. This has to do with another book that I'm reading as part of the Greatest Books of All challenge that I'm challenging myself. And one of the books on that list, I don't remember what number it is in the order, is the Bible. So this book I'm reading ahead of schedule because it's not a book that I can sit down and read like as we go. This book, the Bible, is like a 2-year process. If you follow me on Goodreads, you'll see it in there, and it's been on there forever. And I bought this companion book to read with it called The Bible Recap. This is by Tara Lee Cobble. It's a 1-year guide, and she has a podcast actually, which is how I've been reading the Bible. You read a couple different chapters a day, and then it has kind of a little summary about what they're talking about. And I've already read the entire Old Testament of the Bible, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of times I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand it. It was a lot of repetition, and I'm like, what is happening? But this book, as a companion to her podcast, has been really, really helpful for me to understand what they're talking about, what the story is. So I did purchase a physical copy of this because I was finding that even with the podcast, I couldn't pay attention because I was doing other things. But this, I've just started to recap my way through it because I am going to plan on getting started with the New Testament soon, and I'm going to refresh myself with the Old Testament information. I'm not going to reread the Old Testament. It was too much. It took me forever to get through it. So this is a book that I bought brand new, so it is what it is. All right. Okay. Now this is the biggest kind of weak moment I had in the Read What You Own challenge, but the second time I went to the thrift store, I did get a few more books that I just couldn't pass by. These, I don't know if you would count them. I'm not counting them because 3 of them are cookbooks. So I ended up finding this copy of the Vegetarian Bible, and obviously it is a cookbook about vegetarian meals. 50 cents, 50 cents. So this is just more of a practical guide, obviously. Different recipes. We're always trying to incorporate more vegetarian meals in our diet, so I grabbed that one. And then I also found this little book called The Sensational Salads for You and Your Family that I couldn't pass by, 50 cents. And these recipes are written all in English, Spanish, and French, which I thought was pretty cool. Just delicious little recipes in here. And then the third cookbook I got is by author Mark Sisson, and this is the Keto Reset Diet Cookbook. And I've been following Mark Sisson for about 10 years now, his blog called Mark's Daily Apple. I really resonated with a lot of what he talks about, and after I had my kids, I ate very paleo, and honestly, I didn't have any problems with losing the weight that I gained during pregnancy. So I don't follow a keto diet at all. Honestly, I'm trying to scale back a bit on meat. If I could be a full vegetarian, I would like to, I would love that. It's not something that I'm interested in going full on, but he does have some good recipes in here. And, I just think eating less grain in general is healthy for me personally. So I grabbed that, and then I grabbed 3 books as part of my vintage wildlife collection. So the first one is, I just couldn't resist these. I felt guilty adding more books into my house, but I couldn't resist these. So the first one is called Bird Watching, Housing, and Feeding. And this is by Walter E. Schultz. It is 1963. So I love these type of vintage wildlife books. I love the types of font that they use and the black and white photos. And I'm a huge bird nerd, so I definitely wanted this for my collection. I do want to read it too, but just add it to the Read What You Own. Next, I found this old copy of The ABCs of Nature. This is Reader's Digest. And this one was published in, 84. So this isn't super vintage, but honestly, anything for me, like 90s and beyond, is vintage in a sense, as far as like collectible wildlife stuff. So, the slip jacket or the dust jacket is no longer here, but yeah, this is just fun. I will just sit through and read this, in little sections and stuff. I love these old illustrations, and yeah, something that I enjoy. So I grabbed that one as well. Then lastly, Chipmunk Portrait. And who is this by? I can't see it. who it's by, B&H Heinisch. So yeah, like the title suggests, it's a book about chipmunks. I mean, come on, look at that. God, I love it. I love it. Oh, I love the smell of old books too as well. This one is copyright 1970. So yeah, I love it. Probably my favorite part about vintage wildlife is the illustrations. Someday I would like to do a little mini collection video of my vintage wildlife book, so I'll try to add that to the mix at some point. So I guess to wrap things up, I would say the Read What You Own challenge is going really, really well for me. I think that by adding my little flexibility caveats in there, it's been helping to keep me focused and on track. It's kept me motivated to pick from my shelves. By participating in reading events, it's helped me sort of like to narrow down the choices, and yeah, I'm just excited to keep going with it. And yeah, am I just itching to buy some new books? Yes. But new book buying wasn't really a challenge for me before this started, so it's not, I think, as hard for me as it might be for other people doing the challenge that love to purchase new physical books. Coming up in a few weeks for my birthday, I am going to go to Barnes & Noble to do a little book shopping, but that'll be the only time that I really allow myself. I'm going to try not to pick up anything else. I'm going to try not to look in thrift stores when I drop stuff off, but yeah, that's my 3-month realistic check-in. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that this inspires you to read some books off your shelves if you haven't already. And yeah, I hope you guys are, just plugging through and enjoying what you actually own. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.